Hello, 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 and welcome everyone. Welcome to today's Testimony Thursday. I am your featured host, Ronette Turner Corley, and I'm so excited about today. Why? We got another incredible testimony about how you can write and you can win. And I'm really, really excited because it's someone that my husband and I shared this information with, and she took that leap of faith. And before you know it, let me tell you, she is making things happen with this platform. So I want to welcome everyone that is, seeing this live. We're streaming in two different places today. We're streaming live on Facebook. We're also streaming live on YouTube. So I want to welcome everyone here. Now, before I get started, I want to make sure that you understand what's going to go on today. Once again, this is episode 9. If you can write, you can win. So every Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I come on and I do these interviews. Why? Because you need to know that people are being successful. Now, you'll see, we're going to talk about money today, right? And so you'll see the income disclaimer go by. And please note that the results mentioned here will vary from person to person. We don't know if it's going to work for you or not, but I can tell you this, your individual success is dependent on your efforts, consistency, and commitment. And everyone who I have invited on our show here has been successful. Why? Because they're committed. They're focused, they're driven, and they do the work. And what's the work? Putting pen to paper. It's not that hard, ladies and gents, right? If you can write, you can win. Now, I will tell you this platform is available in the United States and Canada only. Okay. So if you are in the United States and Canada, it's for you. However, it is government regulated, and some states have elected to not participate. Has nothing to do with the platform, has everything to do with that state. So let me tell you what those states are. Those states that are excluded from this platform is Washington State, Idaho, Michigan, Montana, Nevada, Connecticut, and if you're in Canada, it's the province of Quebec. So if you're in those areas that I just mentioned, unfortunately, the letter writing platform, as far as you writing letters and getting paid to do so, you cannot participate at this time. It's subject to change. I don't know when, but that's what the list is right now. If you're in other areas, it's all fair game. It's all fair game. So I'm excited because I've been knowing this person for a long time. We met a number of years ago, and she's someone who I greatly respect, admire, and let me tell you, we have a lot of fun together. So I'm going to bring on Sandra Williams so she can tell you exactly what's been going on with her. Hey there, Sandra.
Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, great. Well, welcome to Testimony Thursday.
I am happy to be here.
Yes, I'm happy you are here, girl. I've been waiting for this. I have been because it's you. We started this journey together in the beginning, right? So it's kind of like, we just got out there on sheer faith, but during the last few weeks, I've been interviewing other people, but to be able to interview someone that I know and see what's happening now, I'm excited. So welcome. So I'm going to dive right in and say, tell us about yourself, where you're from. You've been doing a lot of things, what your past is like. So who is Sandra? Tell us a little bit more.
Sandra is a widow. I've been in California 40 plus years. Been in outside sales, management, publisher of a magazine, advertising, insurance for 17 years. My background is sales and marketing. And I enjoy it because I enjoy people and it comes easy for me.
Yeah.
And I'm a mother. I have an adult son. He's 38 years old, my heart. And I'm just here living life on my own terms. One of my mentors uses that term all the time. And I love it. And I took it as my own, just living life on my own terms.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got a chance to do that. I mean, we met back during the time where, it was a pandemic.
Yes.
And we did quite well during the pandemic. It's funny how things can, turn
We did very well. We did very well during the pandemic.
And so that was good being able to get into the crypto space and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Really adopt that skill set because a
Exactly.
lot of people are really trying to find out now how to do crypto. I mean, now, I mean, really for what we've done and what we know, we can really be considered like almost like experts for what we know, which doesn't
Exactly.
even seem like much, but yeah, we're far advanced when it comes to the general population. And we learned during that time, we were all locked in our homes.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah,
think we are more advanced because people are charging large amounts of money
yeah,
to teach people how to do crypto. And it's something that you and I can do in our sleep, buying
yeah,
and
yeah,
selling and moving money around, different wallets and so forth. So we do know the value. And it's
absolutely.
important. It's important for you guys to also look into that. It's very important.
Yes, absolutely. So that's a good place to go, crypto. So we've had ups, we had some good ups, but we also had some very good from some very low
Yes,
setbacks,
we
right?
have. We have. Absolutely.
Look, to be nice about it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
when we came to you, because I believe it was December of 2024,
Mhm.
and you got a chance to see this, what initially was your thoughts?
When I saw it for the first time, for me, it was a no brainer. I have to be really honest with you.
Okay.
It was a no brainer because in my mind was regardless of the company that has brought me this opportunity, who is teaching me this opportunity, whether they stayed in business or not, I learned a skill that I can go and do forever
Yes.
because it's been around for over 2 decades. And two
Right.
decades, guys, you know what that is. That's over 20 years. So
Right.
it's been around for a long time. And that was to me, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Most things are
Mhm.
related to someone. And if something happens to them, it's gone.
That's right.
This is not like that.
That is key. That is key because as you know, and we've seen many times, people having that much control, when it's over and done, you're out there looking for the next opportunity, right?
Yes. Yes.
And so you grow and you learn, hey, listen, I want to have more control over my financial future or have more financial independence. And you touched on that. It's so true. This platform, it teaches you how to write these letters,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
how to be successful at doing it.
Right.
But they have no affiliation with these billion-dollar corporations. They just teach you the system.
Exactly. It's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's the best thing I've ever seen because it's like that. Like I
Yeah.
said, everything else is related to an individual, related to a business that if something happens to them, it's over.
Right.
And this is not so.
Right. Not at all.
Hmm.
So when it comes to the writing these letters,
Right.
there has I know to when we first started, there was a window of what we call ramping up or filling up your pipeline that we all had to go through.
Right.
And what's your take on that? And let me explain before we actually get into all that. I want to, what we do, we write letters and we get paid. But a lot of times when I thought writing letters, I thought it was an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Ladies and gents, it's a 4 by 6 card. That's what we write on, two
Right.
sentences, a name and address and a code, and send it in. And this is worth $5. So pretty cool. So knowing that, okay, we have to trust the process and go through
Hmm.
this incubation period or ramping up period or whatever. What was your thoughts on that? What was your take on that?
My take was being honest with myself, right? So I was told that as I was in the group and looking at what I was reading, and people were saying it could take anywhere from 12 weeks to 16 weeks. I said, that's nothing. I've been in
Mhm.
things that was much longer to get a return. So in my mind, I bought that amount in my head, and that's what I stayed with. And what's crazy about it, I was looking at 12 weeks to 16, and I was okay with that.
Yeah.
And for me, with one of the corporations, it turned around in 9 weeks and 5 days.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. That's right. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We started writing around the same time. Mine was 9 weeks in one day. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
that was exciting.
yeah, that was exciting.
Matter
So
of fact, I called you that day. I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
you were the first person that I called. I
Oh.
texted my son,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
called you because I
Wow.
was so excited. I mean, it wasn't a matter if, it was a matter of when. So I
Right.
knew it was going to happen because I also believe in the Lord, and Lord is God is not a respecter of person. It was happening for all these other people that
Yes.
are inside of our platform. We
Right.
have over 19,000 people there, and
Right.
people were posting all the time their drops. We call them drops.
Right.
And so it wasn't a matter if, it was a matter of when. So
That's right.
I was looking for my time.
Yeah, we had so much and still do so much social proof. It's kind
Yeah.
of like, whoa. You know, what amazes me is that a lot of times people will get started. I have a
Right.
ton of people. I won't say a ton. It's like 50-50. The people that we've introduced, we have people who are writing, and we
Right.
have people who've gotten started with us, and they haven't written a thing.
Yeah.
I'm going, you know, like this has been the absolute easiest thing to generate cash flow.
Right.
And now I know, just like you, the first drop, or what we like to call drop, which is a deposit,
Right.
um, is usually the smallest one.
Right.
And you and I both have received our first one, but
Right.
we're anticipating receiving the next one and the next one and the next one.
Exactly.
Now I know mine, I think mine was around 60, $65.
Right.
And I tell you, that was the best $65. And someone might they see that and say $65. Why is she sorry about $65? Because I know 6,500 is coming. $65 is just social proof.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
that's the point, because the same exact thing happened to everybody else.
right,
The very first ones, it could have been $5,
right, right,
was small. But the next ones that came
right,
were, in some cases, depending on how much you write,
right,
life changing.
right, right.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I'm about
Life
getting those
changing.
commas. So I know you got your first drop. Now
Yes.
you're anticipating the second one,
Yes.
and so forth and so forth. So how do when it comes to, because you're a busy lady too.
Hmm.
You're an entrepreneur. You have social things going on, networking
Hmm.
and different things and networks you're involved with.
Absolutely.
How do you work this around your lifestyle?
I It's one of my priorities. I mean, so there's I have to be honest. When I get up in the morning, the first thing I'm doing is I'm praying, right? I'm
Yeah, yeah,
praying and I'm
yeah.
reading my word. And I have my packet of information that I use for what we do.
Hmm.
I have a nice little bag
Okay.
that I have, that so any place I go, I can take it with me.
Yeah.
So once I get up, I slate some time. I already have some time slated in the morning
Hmm.
to begin doing that. I like the analogy of Mr. Corley, how he does it, but I haven't incorporated that yet where I'm doing 5 an hour.
Hmm.
Sometimes I do a little longer because that's just kind of how my time is. But
Yeah.
I have a goal of doing anywhere from 25 to 50 a day. And
Okay.
I don't put a lot of pressure on myself,
Yeah.
because it's all about what's right for me. And everybody's goal and everybody's journey is different. So the days when I do 25, which I did last night,
Hmm.
but then I turned in 60 something, 67 the day
Hmm.
before.
Okay.
So it kind of flows that way for me. And I'm
Yeah.
just excited to be a part of this opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that excites me is the fact that, and I love, just like yourself, I love people. I
Hmm.
actually love sharing. But I know that when it comes to sharing, recruiting, or what have you, you and I both have been in sales.
Yes.
So when you have that background in sales, first of all, you can't be successful in sales and be someone who's shy or afraid to talk to people.
Right.
But, but when it comes to doing that, or even public speaking, that's the number
Hmm.
one fear of people, even before death, right?
Right. Hmm.
So with what we do, and I absolutely love, is that sharing is optional, completely optional.
Hmm. Hmm. And
So
I
talk
love
more about
that.
that. Yeah, talk more about that, and if you can expand on that.
I can. Since COVID, a lot of opportunities that we were in, we were sharing, like I was sharing.
Mhm,
There's a core group of people that I was sharing was making money, and I would share with those people.
mhm,
Um, when the landscape changed,
Mhm.
we were looking for different types of opportunities. And so I helped a lot of people with converting crypto and buying and selling. And I had to be honest, it burned me out. So I wasn't looking for anything where I had to share,
Mhm.
being really honest, or that my money was based on you getting involved.
Right.
So I've shared it with a couple very close friends and a couple family members, and people either choose to do so or not. And either way, and I'm being really honest with you, look at me in my eyes. I want you to get involved because it would be good for you.
Right.
But if you don't, it's okay.
Right.
It truly is okay
Right.
because it doesn't affect me that way at all.
Mm-hmm. And you know what's nice about that is that that energy transcends.
Mhm.
When you can literally tell a person, I'm sharing that for you,
Yes.
because whether you write or not, I don't get paid on letter writing
No.
of when you do it,
Right.
right? So it only affects me if I don't write.
Right. Right.
But
Exactly.
yeah, but as
Exactly.
far as you, is that I want you to have this cash flow, because quite frankly, there's some people that, that we have been a part of our journey as far as, affiliate marketing and network marketing and so forth.
Mhm.
Although they don't consider this MLM, still they've been a part of other things we've done.
Right.
And I can think of a particular lady who's a senior. She's sweet as pie. She's one of those fun type of, people. She loves to be around the fun crowd.
Right.
She wants to make money, but she never has. Why? Because she doesn't have the means or skill set to be able to really um, share the information enough that someone's, I'll use the word convinced to
Mhm.
get in business with her. But when I found out this particular person was doing about $1,000 a week, do you know how hard it is to make $4,000 in affiliate and network marketing? Usually you making that type of money. And it's
Mhm.
not about even making it, because some people do that and they'll say, "Oh, I made $4,000,"
Right.
but it's the repeat. You got to keep up the same intensity, smiling and dialing on those phones,
Exactly. Exactly.
or showing up to house meetings, recruiting people, getting on calls, going to events. All she does is sit in her home and write these letters.
It's, you know what though, you said earlier it's simple, right? It but it really isn't. And the reason why I say that, it's simple, but it's simple not to do because it also requires discipline. How many of us
Right.
work for corporations? I know I have. I worked for companies. I was out there hitting the payments,
Yeah.
making those phone calls.
Yeah.
And I was good at it, guys.
Right.
I was good at it, but I'm older now. And
Yeah.
so I look at life a little differently. I want to lay back a little bit more
Right.
and I want to control my time more. I
Right.
want to spend time with my grandkids, my son, my loved ones.
Right.
I want to, and do fun things. I went hiking the other day. I did tea at the 123 farm. Those are the go to
Oh, love it.
museums,
Yes.
in the
Yes.
middle of the day. I went
And
and saw Jennifer Hudson in the middle of the day the other day.
yes.
Those are the things I'm talking about. And
Yes.
this can help you do that. If you're retired, you can make a couple extra $1,000. Say you only want to
Right.
make 800, 600, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Whatever amount you want to make, you can here.
You
You
can.
can. There's
There
no
are people who are
pressure.
literally doing six figures, a year, because they've decided that's how much they want to do to make this happen. And
Exactly.
it's totally up to you. And what
Exactly.
I love too, it's no shaming here, right? So if a person
Right.
says, "Well, I only want to make $100 a month," people clap.
I'm serious because you can do that. That means you're
Right.
writing a couple letters for the entire month, and then when
Right.
that comes in, you have that, right?
Right.
If
Right.
if, if you set aside that 12 weeks, knowing that it's going to take 12 weeks to 16 weeks for your first drop, and like I said, it's happened a little sooner for me, and
Right.
everybody is different, guys. It makes a difference.
It
It
does.
truly does. And
Yeah.
I know so many people that if you see this, that
Mhm.
I know personally,
Mhm.
that loved ones have been sick and that you've had to take time off from work,
Right.
you're scared or you've been sick yourself and
Yeah.
you don't know how you're going to make it. I went through that when my late husband passed away
Mhm.
and I would have to sit in the hospital for days at a time. I wished I had something like this. that
Wow.
I could just sit there and take my bag with me and do writing. Guys, this is life changing. It
Yes.
just is.
Wow, that reminds me. There is a post, and I took that post and I actually put it in our group.
Okay.
There was a post of a lady just that. Husband had, I forgot which stage it was either 3 or 4 cancer, in the hospital room,
Mhm.
and she showed herself in there. She was writing.
Yeah.
And it just helped her to continue on, but yet still be able to be there
Right.
in the capacity that she wanted to be there.
Right.
It's those things that make a difference. Yeah, and we're living in some interesting times right now,
Well,
right?
let's not even, I mean, that's the big part. You know
Yeah.
what? That's the other part. And so when I look at this opportunity,
Mhm.
those things will not control this for me.
That's right.
That's
That's right.
huge.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
huge. This
Yes.
will not control that
Hmm.
because those corporations are going to still be there because this has been happening for over 2 decades. Two
That's right.
decades, guys, that's 20 years plus.
Yes. Yes. And when I had, quite frankly, Sandra, when I thought about that, it really opened my eyes when they told me, because of course the platform's been around for now a year and 3 months,
Right.
right? So they're new.
Right.
The system itself of the letter writing process is not,
No.
like you said, 2 decades. But
Right.
I start to think about the fact that, Priscilla said, I love this. I take mine with me too. I know you do, girl. She's the same one that talked about the fact that she took hers while her granddaughter was getting her hair braided, and she did 200 and or 40. She did 40.
You're 40,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. And I'm
But
like,
still,
well, 40
40 is
times 5 is 200. What? So you like got
absolutely.
$200 in the pipeline while your
Absolutely.
granddaughter's getting the hair done. Oh, that's a great day. Right?
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
but let me go back to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What has expanded my mind is that, and this comes from me just, my whole personal development walk, listening to things, and it reminds me of the fact that there's no such thing as lack. You might be uninformed, but stuff is out there, because I'm going 2 decades. Where have I been? I can be writing letters a long time ago.
Exactly.
Like,
That's, you know
what?
what? That's exactly what I felt. I'm like, and here's the thing, the secrets are there, right? A lot of sometimes there's these little gems and people just don't share them, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Then we find gems and we do share them and people just believe it's just too good to be true.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what, guys? Some things are, but not everything.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
everything. And
Well,
if you
that
know
was
the
my
character,
thing when I was in that community. I mean, the moment you go inside that community, you see 19,000 people and everybody sharing. I said, everybody can't be lying. you know? Yeah.
that's the part. That's
Yeah.
the part there. And then reading their stories, how they're
Yes.
paying off their cars and buying houses and
Yeah.
and simple things like getting their kids paying for the braces because they couldn't afford to pay for it and they have these
Right.
back bills and those kind of things. It's
Yeah.
you
It's
know,
moving. You know
yeah,
what it does? It makes you want to share more.
it
It
does.
makes you want to share more. And we are on a mission to share. And all we can do is just share. We can't help who takes it or who don't take it. Or
Right,
when we do share, they get started and they don't write. We're just
right,
like, look, our mission is fulfilled once we just share the information. The right people will execute.
right,
And sometimes it takes people to, you know, pick it up later and say, you know what? I need to start doing this. So that's why we continue to share. And that's hence is the purpose also of why we do this once a week, because we want to get the awareness out there. Because really, in my opinion, this is the best kept secret. Most people don't even know this even exists.
exactly. Exactly. And
Yeah.
how many opportunities I've read several stories where
Hmm.
people have started
Hmm.
and they had medical issues and they had to stop. But guess what? They were able to pick back up their pen and write again.
That's right.
I
That's
mean,
right.
come on. How many?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know about opportunities that you can do that. Normally, when you stop, you stop.
Right. Right. Right.
And it
Exactly.
goes away. It
And it
goes
goes
away.
away.
This doesn't. You
Yeah.
learn a skill that you'll have for the rest of your life, regardless of whether you're with me or not, or whether you're with
Yeah.
you or not. The
Yeah.
skill is ongoing.
The skill is ongoing. And
Hmm.
the thing when you talked about the whole 12 to 15, 16 weeks, what's
Yeah.
nice about that is that it goes by in a zip. You don't even realize. I mean, look right now. I'm sure people who are viewing us now and will be viewing us later
Right.
remember 90 days ago when they were saying Happy New Year. Now we're about to go into April. And
I
how
know.
fast did that go? Right. So
Right.
all we did was just put our head down and we just kept writing. We still just keep writing, keep writing, keep writing. And
And
we
that's it.
know, yeah, that next one's going to have commas in it. Commas. So let's talk about your first drop. What was the amount of your first drop?
Mine was, I think it was 145. It was
145.
145. And so
Yes.
I was excited.
Yes.
I was excited.
Yes.
And I've made additional money through with the corporations as well,
Right.
but that was my first drop. And so
Yes. And about
like,
how much right now, because we had to build up the pipeline. What would you say is the amount that you have that's anticipating to come because you've built up this pipeline and
I would
ongoing?
I would say over 6 grand.
Over 6 grand. Yeah. From
Yeah.
writing letters.
6 grand. Yeah. Yeah. And something that my first letter I did in January, the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of January. So we're talking, this is March now.
Yeah.
Right. And it takes building a it's like I'll use sales as example. When I
Okay.
first started, right, with something, I may not know the product really well and I'm not that good. But once I learn the product, I become pretty good. Right. So
Right.
writing was the same thing for me. I'm not used to writing like that,
Right.
writing a lot. And
Yeah.
so it was building up a rhythm and buying different pens. And now I have that. So now I can
Mm-hmm.
just go through it. And I'm like, you know what? That wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
That wasn't so
Absolutely.
bad. And I'm not writing a
Absolutely.
lot either, but still you start getting intense and you realize, oh, I gotta relax.
Right.
I gotta
Right.
loosen up. And so now guys, it's okay.
Yes. That's so true. When I first started, I was like, okay, this is different.
Mhm.
I remember when Sly started to write, he was like, he felt it too. Like, this is really like different. Like,
Mhm.
yes. And it's like riding a bike,
Right,
right? Because you think, okay, it's riding. And we're just being very candid,
right.
right? You and I both. And so for you all that are watching, if you're just getting started or considering getting started, yeah, it's kind of like, okay, this is different, but you get into a rhythm. Now I flow to that thing, and it's almost like, the sound of good.
I think I lost you.
Okay.
I think I lost you. Now I am. Can you hear
Okay.
me? Okay.
Yes. Yes. Priscilla said she made almost $600 on her first drop. Priscilla, you'll be on next week. We got to hear about that. We got
Yes.
to hear. She said, I understood the assignment.
She
She's
did.
right.
She did. I mean, she was sending pictures and showing the big
Yes.
stacks of stuff she was mailing off.
Yes.
I was kind of like, I'm like,
Okay. I
she's a
think I lost her
ninja.
now.
She's a
Yeah.
ninja.
Yes. Yes. So I'm like, okay, if that was your first, girl, what was your second, third, fourth, fifth going to be?
It's gonna be
Yes.
incredible.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But you know what she did, which was really important, and I didn't
Mhm.
do this until later when I
Mhm.
started, was she
Mhm.
put it to a goal.
Yeah.
So when she initially started, hers was with a goal. And I won't say
Mhm.
her goal because it's her story to tell, but I didn't have it to a goal. I was just, let me just make some additional money. Right now, I have it set to goals. There's things that I want to
Yeah. Yeah.
target and eliminate and take care of with this extra
Yes.
fund of incomes that are coming
That's
in.
what
So
got us doing that too. Yep.
yeah, so it's
Absolutely right.
different. It's
It
different.
makes a difference. Now you have something to shoot
Mhm.
for, right?
Right. Right.
So we figured out, okay, well, this first batch of wave coming in, what is that designated to? Oh, okay. So now writing, it's
Renette,
okay.
now I can hear you.
All right. So we have to come back here. I had to take my Wi-Fi off just to make sure. Maybe it's the bandwidth something. I have no idea. Anyway, we are back.
Okay.
So Eric Ruiz said you don't have to be tech savvy to write.
You don't. Absolutely not.
To go back to think what we were talking about. What were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about having goals.
Yes.
Yeah,
and the importance
having
of it.
goals. So now designating things. Now it puts a fire in you, right? And you're like, wait, okay, let's write. And writing also for me has become a habit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah, it
agree.
really has. Like
Agree.
sometimes it feels strange. I'm not writing. My sister called me and
Right.
said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm writing." Yeah, because
Right.
it's and also what I've noticed for me, it's become therapeutic.
You know what? It has. It has.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also choosing, I mean, as busy as I get doing different activities, I'm also choosing not to do things because I'd rather do this. Because
Mm-hmm.
I have a goal. Because I have a goal.
Right. Right.
And when I go in and I in our group that has over 19,000 people and I read some of the other people's goals, and I'm
Yes.
like, I'm not doing enough,
Right. Right.
and so
Right.
that motivates me as well. Do I want to be like them? No, I don't. I want to be the best person that I can be and do the
Right.
amount that is right for me, but I know I can do more than what I was doing. So
Right.
that.
Well,
Mhm.
let me tell you something. I don't have to go into. I'm one of those ones that I go into the Facebook group too, but I don't have to look too far because I got a writing speed writer over here.
You do.
Girl, let me tell you, it's so funny because like today, we're putting stamps on things. And he says, "Well, how many you have over there?" Because we have all these stamps that we got, so that we can mail things off. He's like, "Well,
Right.
how many do you have?" And I'm trying to, divvy them up between both of us. And I'm like, "Well, I got 40." He's like, "Well, I got 150." I said, "You have what?"
Oh my goodness.
I said, after already sending off that 400 last week, he already has 150. And I'm going, what the heck you been doing? I've been sitting here. He's like, "I've been writing." I know I've been writing too, but look, it's hard to keep up with him.
He's disciplined and he's sticking to that plan
It's
that
you
so
know
I
what?
got to try it. I got to do it because
He's sticking to the plan.
it's
I
keeping.
stick to it too, but I don't. He's very methodical about that plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Not
And
taking any phone calls, not doing
he
all the other stuff that
doesn't.
we do.
He doesn't. And today I told him, I said, "You know what? I'm going to be very intentional." So
Hmm.
here's what happened. I'm writing and I'm writing. I start off writing great. And so
Okay.
within, I go to get a code, right? And
Hmm.
in the midst of going to get a code, a thing popped up, a notification on Facebook. I said, "Oh, let me see." He said, "I thought you were going to be in." And so here I go, I'm like, I am being intentional. I am. But it did get me back in check. I'm like, okay, let me get back over and get this code.
He's right.
Yeah, he's
He's
right.
right. It's
You're
the
right.
discipline.
Yeah,
And those that are doing those large numbers,
yeah,
it's that same deal. They got that discipline and
yeah.
they're
He's
just
focused.
drilling it.
Yeah,
So
he's focused.
so we know that there's more to do based on even I mean slides over
Oh
there
yeah.
just pumping them out.
Yeah, and it's so funny because he'll pump him out, and when he's done, he's done. And look, I'm still writing throughout the entire night, the entire day. He's like, "Oh, I'm done." He's like, "I thought we were gonna watch a movie." I'm like, "Really?" I still have. I'm like, "Okay, I'll write and watch the movie." Oh my
Right.
gosh.
Right.
Yes.
That
So
happened to me last night. I was writing. I'm sitting on the bed and I have my little setup and everything, my little table,
yeah.
and I wake up, my legs are crossed and I'm leaning back and the stuff is still sitting there. So now I'm like, my goal is to finish this because I got to mail these tomorrow. So I
Right.
was up to 1 this morning
Yeah.
finishing those up.
Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. Hey, but you know what I love about it? We have
What?
fun with it. Just like you. You have fun with it. You don't put too much pressure on yourself.
No,
You're like,
no.
"Okay, I'll get it done when I get it done. I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna get it done." But yeah, you have fun with it and just kind of go with that flow.
It's your business. I mean, when
Business.
you work in a job, you gotta clock in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's just say I had to.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, most of my jobs I didn't have to physically clock in, but there was
right.
still a time I had to
Same here.
start, right?
Exactly.
Right. So I had to start at a certain time and I had to end at a certain time. And
Hmm.
so, and I was responsible for results,
Right.
numbers,
Oh yeah.
numbers.
Oh yeah.
And if I didn't have those numbers, I wouldn't have a job.
Right.
So here, I'm responsible to me and the
Yes.
numbers I want to create and the results I want.
Yes. Yes. And
And I
I
like
believe that makes all the difference in the world is, and that's what happens too when it comes to letter writing or anything like that,
it. Right.
that you have to personally tell yourself. Because here's the thing that I know is, and I've heard someone say this before, that the toughest thing is to be accountable to yourself. Because
Mhm.
most of the time, the only reason why people go to their job and show up, yes, it's the money and all that, but they
Mhm.
get their own time because of the responsibility of being accountable to somebody else.
Right.
But when you are an entrepreneur, it's your responsibility to be successful.
Right.
You have to have the same amount of respect for you
Mhm.
as you would someone telling you what to do.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
valuing your own time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That I found that to be very huge for me
Value your
to
time.
value my own time
Yeah.
because I could waste it. I could every time somebody called me, I could pick up the phone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But then hours have passed and I haven't gotten what I wanted done.
Yes.
So valuing your own time is key.
It
I'm gonna,
is.
it is, and I'm gonna start incorporating what Sly does, and
Mm-hmm.
also when someone texts me or call me, um, that time would be slated out for what I'm doing. Then I'll get back
Yeah.
to them when I'm done.
Correct. He tells me, Ronette,
Hmm.
you have a voicemail for a purpose.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're right. You don't have to answer every call. I'm like, yeah, you're right. And so
Hmm.
yeah. But what happens is once you start, like, I'm sure whether it's tomorrow or Monday, we are due a drop coming up. Oh man, drops are about to happen, right?
They are. They're gonna be big
And
ones. Some nice ones.
yes. So it's exciting because we
Mhm.
know we're writing and getting paid to write, and
Yes.
these drops are happening. So when that happens, it puts you in a different, because I can tell you one thing, I'm writing more. Now, I wrote in the beginning and I wrote, more than what I would say the average person wrote.
Right.
However, I didn't write as much as I'm writing now, because once you experience that first drop, you like, hold up, wait a minute, move out the way. And you start
Exactly.
seeing what everyone else, 3,000, 4,000, and you're like,
Incredible.
yeah.
Incredible. And I don't have to deal with it. Look, I shouldn't say the word deal because I love people.
Mhm.
But the only personality I have to deal with is mine.
Right. Right.
You know,
Yes.
mine.
That's the beautiful thing
And I
about
can be casual. Look at this. I can be
Yes.
casual.
Yes. Same
I
here. It's been
I
around
really
all
love to
summer.
wear onesies. I love to wear
Yeah.
onesies. I'm in my onesies most time writing.
Yeah. Yeah. Same
Mhm.
here. Chilling. I mean, having a good time. What I
Mhm.
love about it is that I know my mother-in-law, she was saying, you know what? Just for her to get out and do some things. She said, I was thinking about getting me a little job here and there. And I don't know how she was going to do that because she's comfortable, and she's fine.
Right.
But just to have some activity to go out and do. So she started writing
Awesome.
and she's excited.
Awesome.
And now she's like, you mean to tell me, yes, you'll make more money writing than going, yeah. And so she's excited because she loves her series on Netflix.
There's some good ones.
Yeah. And she writes and get paid.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I'm excited because she's due her first drop.
Nice. It's
So
coming.
you start to get excited about other people's drop. We have an
You
aunt,
do.
which is her sister Sly's aunt, that her first drop. My sister, it helped her. What her goal is to replace her. She was going to take on, as being a nurse, she was going to take on a couple of more shifts. She's like, this is taking place for that because she can eliminate those 2 shifts and make the same amount and be at home
Exactly.
instead of being at the hospital. She loves that. So yeah, that has been everything for us to see that too.
It's a mind shift. It's a
Yeah,
mind shift.
yeah,
Most of us are programmed to be employees.
yeah, yeah.
We're
So
just programmed to be employees.
mhm.
Even the amount of money may not seem a lot. I made 6 figures from many jobs that I've worked for, made really, really good money. But I like this. I
Yeah,
like this gig right here
yeah.
because I can do it when I want, how I want.
Yes,
I love it.
yes.
I love
You
it.
stay in control over, okay, if I want to write X amount or what. And even for the people who don't have any time, I was telling one of my girlfriends, she said, she has multiple things she's doing to bring in income. and she wants to quit some of them, but she says she doesn't have any time. I'm like, listen,
Mm-hmm.
start. Can you write for a day?
Mm-hmm.
For a day is $600 for the month.
Right.
I'm like 20 minutes to make a day for $600 a month. Would that
Exactly.
make a difference? And when you start to put those numbers together, she's like, whoa. I'm like, yeah, that can eliminate something.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you start seeing that coming in, guess what? You start writing more.
It's awesome. That's all I can say. I
It
mean,
is.
it's awesome. I'm glad you shared it with me. And I have to be honest, I was I was like, not another thing,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
right? Not another thing. And I'm glad you shared this thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm glad I did too. And as we move forward, just watching the community, because this has been the one thing that I can say that we've shared. And if a person engage, you win. Period.
Yeah.
Period. You don't have to recruit. You don't have to have sales skills. You don't have to have tech skills. You don't have to, stock product. You don't have to order anything. If you execute,
Yes. You
meaning
win.
just right, you will win.
You
And we're
win.
so comfortable saying that because we know it's true. So
Yes.
that is amazing. I'm excited for you.
Thank
As a
you.
parting, just something to say, because I know people are going to be watching this, even people that on in your Facebook group and people you're friends with. What would you say as someone taking a look at this and considering getting started or looking for extra cash flow?
I would say don't wait. The one thing that I would say is don't wait.
Mhm.
And it's real, and just get started.
Yeah.
Just get started and make a goal. DM, DM me, DM Burnett, DM, get involved.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. And that reminds me, I'll say this on our way out here, is that you're seeing this, and every single week we come on with a new testimony. You heard Sandra talk about her background and what she's doing, and drops her now. The first one has been released. So as we go on, we're going to see more and more come our way because she's continuing to write and much bigger. Has about 6,000 in the pipeline and growing.
Hmm.
So really excited about that. If you're seeing this from her page, DM her, get in touch with her, get involved so we can get you going. We've already passed the first quarter, pretty much out of the first quarter, going to the second quarter. People are looking for cash flow. This is the perfect gig for whatever. If you're busy, it's perfect for you. If you're not too busy, it's perfect for you. That's how it works. If you're seeing this on my page, get in touch with me. There are other people who are sharing this on their page. Get in touch with them. Why? Because everyone sharing is sharing it because they want you to have the opportunity to have this cash flow come in, not because they need you to make money.
Right.
That's what's big. That's what's big. Well, Sandra, we really appreciate it. I appreciate you being here,
Thank you.
sharing your testimony. We're going to have you back because we know those comma checks are right around the corner. We want to have people that can hear, hey, what happened? So we're excited about that because as we know, any minute that drop is showing up. So we're excited about that
I'm
too.
excited.
Yes, 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 yes. Well, I appreciate you. And thank you for trusting us too, and just taking this journey with us. And now we're all here where we can see the fruits of everything happening. So
It's
appreciate
awesome.
it. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And I'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye now.
Bye.
All right, everyone. So you got a chance to hear Sandra's testimony, and I am really excited for her, our entire community. Why? Because it's happening. And taking that leap of faith, people are writing and people are winning. Where can you go that you can make $1,000 a month, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, even $10,000 a month that people are making just by carving out some time in their day and writing a few letters here and there around their lifestyle. So my name is Ronette Turner Corley, and what you just saw was Testimony Thursday. If you can write, you can win episode 9. Episode 10 will be next week. And yes, we will have someone else, more than likely Priscilla McLean Roberts, because I want you to hear her story. So let's see if we can get Priscilla here. However, I want you to stay tuned to next week because we will be back. And I do appreciate you chiming in. And once again, whoever page you're seeing this on, get back to them so that we can make your 2025 something really special. Now, I will say this for those of you who want to know, okay, the testimonies sound great, but how can I get more information about exactly what it is? Tune in a couple of hours on my page because at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, tonight, I'm going to be doing a full on presentation. You see the link on my page if you want to attend the Zoom, a full presentation from start to finish of how this works and how you can get paid writing to billion-dollar corporations and making money from home. And yes, Priscilla has confirmed she will be with us next week. So you should chime in and be excited because her story is fantastic. But once again, if you want to hear everything from start to finish on how this works and how you can bring cash flow into your household just writing letters, chime in about an hour on my page or attend the Zoom, and I'm going to show you what it's about. Once again, this is Ronette Turner Corley. I am signing off, and I look forward to seeing you in our Facebook group. And until then, happy writing. See you soon.